What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Jet's Fishing Adventures. We are out here at the house, and this week's video we're going to talk about my top 5 baits for the month of May. You might ask, hey Ethan, I thought you were doing a technique per month video. Well, that video hasn't done as well as I was hoping to. It still did good. Thanks for watching all that stuff, but the top 3 baits is really what did really good last year. So we're going to continue that, but we're going to start adding 2 more to the list to make it 5. This should be a fun series. We're going to start from now, May, all the way through December, and after that, I'm not sure what we'll do, but I'm just trying to do some fun things for y'all. But before we get into this video, if you have not, this week, the first week of May, it is the semifinals of the Yak Off. Go and vote for me, if you will. Every vote counts, and you can vote every day. It's April 26th through May, whatever it is, May 4th. So go ahead, make sure to go follow the link in the description below and cast your vote every day. And this helps you, the viewer, if you can go in there and when you vote, you can get in even more entries, and that gives you even more chances to win a $3,400 kayak and a motor, a whole setup. It's pretty sweet. So be sure to go and do that right quick. You know, May fishing can be some of the best fishing all year long. I know I've said this prior, but it can be. You know, during May, you got a lot of different things happening. The weather's getting warm. You know, here yesterday was a record high. It was 90 degrees in Tennessee. But a lot of times the fish are spawning or getting off the spawn, post-spawn. So you'll have a lot of fry garden. You'll also have, this time of year, shad spawn. You know, it's really important to get out there right at daylight, or even 30 minutes before daylight, and the shad will only spawn for that last 30 minutes of whenever the sun comes up. You can see them. You got a 30-minute window to catch shad spawning, and most of the time, if you can see them flicking around on the bank, you can go over there and cast around, and you'll catch some largemouth underneath them, and it can be some fun fishing. But you got the shad spawn, you got post-spawn fishing, and now towards the end of May, middle May towards the end, you'll have mayflies. So you'll have the bluegill spawning as well. And this time of year, a lot of things are changing, but it can be really fun fishing, and you can catch them a lot of different ways. And in this video, I'm going to teach you some of the ways that is my favorite way to fish this time of year. But if you're watching anywhere between like above the Mason-Dixon line, go to last month's video, and that'll probably be what you're doing then. If you're below Tennessee, if you're Tennessee and below, what I'm fixing to talk about will work for you. Let's jump into this week's video. My number 1 bait for the month of May has to be, if I can get it out, a Topwater. This is a Topwater Spook. It's a Shower Blows by Mega Bass. That's one of my all-time favorites to throw. But also, towards the later part of the month, when that bluegill starts spawning, when you have that mayfly hatch, a popper is a must this time of year. I've won so much money off of a popper in tournaments. It's one of my favorite ways to fish all the time. If I do not have a Shower Blows tied on, I have a popper on this rod. But this time of year, the fish, you know, the shad are spawning. So if you see shad spawn, you want to throw that little popper. And I like downsizing my spooks. I like to throw a little spook. This is a Shower Blows 77, I think, size. Real good little bait. It has a really good walking action, and it spits. If you look on the front of this little thing, it's got like a cup, and it really spits water. It's a great bait this time of year. It mimics a lot of the shad spawning this time of year. Depending on what you're throwing or where you're fishing, if you're fishing after shad, the shad spawn, throw that Shower Blows. If you're fishing bluegill beds, or that mayfly hatch, a popper is the way to go. I throw all my Topwater treble hooks on this rod. It's a 7'3" medium heavy Cashin Elite Series. Really good rod. One of my favorite all-time favorites. I have it paired up with a Lew's BB1 Pro with 30-pound smackdown braid from Seaguar. Alright, so my number 2 bait of the year. I tell you, you gotta hook yourself. It's just a must. So my number 2 bait of this month has to be a square bill. You know, this time of year, it's shad. The fish are getting off the beds. That post front, they're out feeding because they haven't eaten in a while, and they're hungry. So all the fish are out on looking for that next meal. And a square bill fishing up shallow around that shad spawn is lights out. I like throwing this little, it's a Strike King hard knock square bill. It dives about 3 to 4 foot. I got it paired up with my Mojo Bass. It's a 7'1", medium heavy, kind of moderate action. Real good rod. Got it paired with an SLX MG70. You know, these light little square bills that can be hard to throw, but that having that smaller spool on this MG70, and you can really cast. I got it paired with 15-pound fluorocarbon. I will run between 12 to 15 depending on where I'm fishing, the caliber of fish that I know that's in the lake, and really the depth. I'll switch reels. I got 2 of these. I'll switch one out depending on, for my other setups, depending on what depth I'm wanting. But a square bill this time of year, it's a killer, and it's a fun and easy way to fish. If you're a beginner, you just throw it out and reel it in. You can add some little jerks every now and then, or you can reel it faster or kill it. It's a very easy way to fish, and it's a very effective way to fish. Moving on to bait number 3 of the month, and if you know me, you already probably know what I'm going to talk about, but that is a chatterbait. I got 2 sitting right here. I got the jackhammer, the regular size, and I got the baby jackhammer that just came out not too long ago. In the last month, you know, this time of year, the bait fish are very, you know, it's a shad spawn, so you're wanting to match that hatch as close as you can. So that little baby jackhammer, the Mini Max as well, it's a great bait this time of year. That is the baby jackhammer in the green pumpkin shad color, one of the all-time favorite colors. You want to match the hatch. So this time of year, if you see the shad spawning, or really a chatterbait any time of the year, you can throw around any cover, skip it up under stuff, and catch fish. But that's just my favorite, one of my favorite techniques. Probably my favorite technique is a chatterbait. The Baby Max is real light. It's a 1/4 ounce, so I do throw it on a different rod. This is actually a 7'6" medium heavy moderate. It's a Cashin Icon crankbait rod, but it's got some backbone to it to set that somewhat beefy hook, but it's got that tip where you can feel the vibration and still can set the hook. And then on a regular size chatterbait, I use the Little Miami 7'3", one of the best chatterbait rods I've ever felt in my life. Real good rod for the price. I got it paired up with an SLX DC. You know my setup. I've talked about it all the time, and it's no surprise what it is. But one of my favorite trailers, and we just released the new one, is the Torn Outdoor Stone Roller. This is this is actually the 4.4 inch. We just released it, and you can go and be some of the first to use that bait in that size. But chatterbaits, you know, it's no surprise. It's one of my favorite, all-time favorite techniques. It catches fish, and it can catch some really big fish. And you know, the shad spawn, that's what you want to do. You want to mimic shad, and a chatterbait is one of the best ways to do it. All right, so if you've noticed, previously all of them are reaction style baits. So I wanted to throw in one that is a finesse bait. And you know, when the fish pull off of the beds, they either go up shallow to feed on shad, or they pull off and go off deep. And one of the best ways to catch them this time of year, and really any time of the year, definitely in the summer, is a shaky head. A shaky head is one of my all-time favorite techniques to use. I got this one paired up with just a classic Zoom trick worm and June bug. June bug, you can't beat June bug in the offshore. It's one of the best colors ever. But I got it paired up with my ALX Wizard. It's a 7'2" medium heavy fast action rod. Really good rod right here. But shaky head is one of my all-time favorite techniques. It's probably one of my best techniques catching big fish. You can catch big fish, you can catch small fish, and it's pretty simple to use. You just kind of target lay downs, target off, brush out deep, throw it out, let it sink, and you just kind of shake it back and you'll feel that thud and set the hook. Real easy. All right, so for my top 5, my 5th favorite technique, it's kind of a general technique for this time of year. You know, the fish are up shallow going after shad, so they're up under docks around laydown. So one of my favorite ways to fish for big fish after I have my limit is either a big swim bait or a big glide bait. You know, this can kind of work together a lot. Let me just hit my head. But I use both of these kind of together a lot. I'll use the 6.5 Torrent Thresher up in some shallow stuff, and then I'll use the glide bait around docks anytime I can't get it snagged. You know, glide baits are kind of expensive, and you hate to lose them. This glide bait though is one of the best glide baits for the money. This is the Mike Buka Trick Shad. I think it's around $40. I got it at Lake Ford, caught some fish on it, really good action on it. I got it paired. I would pair it with my 7'6" heavy rod. It is a fast action. This is a Silverado Dugout. This is a fast action, but being that it's a budget rod, the action's a little bit softer, and it is starting to rain. So if you see that in the background, that's why. But this rod right here, a Powerhouse fishing glide bait. It's actually my Alabama rig rod as well. It's got a nice tip, so when you got these big treble hooks, you don't want a real stiff rod because you'll lose a fish. But this rod has a real nice tip for big treble hook. My setup for the Thresher 6.5 is a iRod Genesis 2. This is 7'5" Snyder snipe. My good buddy Russ Snyder designed this rod, and if you know Russ, he loves throwing a big mag draft. Well, this is the answer to if you want something a little bit different. You know, fish get conditioned to seeing the same mag draft fly by them every time, swim by them. So if you're throwing something just a little bit different, like this Thresher 6.5, it can be what lights out. I actually got it paired up. If you follow my Facebook, you actually saw this earlier, but I actually got this paired up with a Mullix stinger or soft stinger hook. It's kind of a cool new system. You can turn any swim bait into a kind of a loaded swim bait, and I have caught a few fish on it, and this thing swims just perfect. I was a little nervous about it when I first got it, about the swimming action, but if you just rig it up just like that, it swims just perfect, and it gives it a little bit of weight, so it sinks down pretty good too. Well, it's starting to rain. We're gonna close this video out real quick, but I just want to say, if you're still watching, thank you so much for hitting 1,000 subscribers. Next week, we're gonna do a 2-part video, Tuesday and then Friday, celebrating my 1,000 subscriber goal. We got a giveaway coming up. The details will probably be released Monday or Tuesday with the video. Next Tuesday's video, I'm going to walk through all of my rod setup. It's going to be a cool little video to show what I use, and for you the subscriber to know if you see me throwing something, I'm most likely using this technique. So, but anyway, without blobbing on, thank you for watching. And if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It means the world to me. But thank you for subscribing and watching, and go ahead and hit that like button. We will see y'all next video.